Despite its low-tech style and simplistic build, the RowERG is widely considered one of the best indoor rowing machines. Unless you're really after smart video training content, it's an excellent value pick as well. Welcome to treadmillreviews.com. I'm Kaylee, and today I'm reviewing the Concept2 RowERG. While I had used a rowing machine a couple of times before I first encountered the Concept2 RowERG, the RowERG was the first time that rowing became fun for me. I was immediately considering rowing as my go-to cross-training activity for when I'm not running. But before I cart this rower back home, or you decide to do the same, think about your neighbors. The Concept2 RowERG is an air rower, and it sounds like an industrial fan at full speed. The Concept2 RowERG is almost as easy to critique as it is to praise, but there are plenty of reasons this simplistic rower stands out in a sea of smart rowers. Two features you want to pay careful attention to as we talk about the RowERG are the PM5 monitor and the damper. If you want more help deciding what goes into your home gym, like this video and subscribe to our channel. I'm constantly testing new fitness equipment to help you make the right buying decisions. And your support helps us do that here at treadmillreviews.com. We have tons of reviews for you to check out on YouTube and on our website. The biggest hurdle to overcome when considering the Concept2 RowERG is the noise. An air rower is much louder than a magnetic resistance rower or even a water rower. If you live in an apartment or condo, this rowing machine might irritate your neighbors. The same goes for other people in your household. But if that's not an issue for you, the RowERG has a lot going for it. It has a lightweight but very high quality frame. In the fitness space, it is pretty rare to find a cardio machine that is easy to move around and durable and stable. The RowERG only weighs 57 pounds, but it can support a user weight of up to 500 pounds with its steel and aluminum construction. This makes it an excellent option for larger users. The maximum inseam length it supports is about 38 inches, and while it will depend on your exact proportions, that's likely someone over 6.5 feet tall. Overall, the rower is 96 inches long by 24 inches wide and 14 inches tall. If you have the tall version, which raises the rower up so it's easier to sit down onto, then it measures about 20 inches in height. The frame is covered by a 5-year warranty and the parts for 2 years. Considering how long many users have reported their rowers lasting, I wish this warranty was a little longer, but I am impressed that Concept2 makes it so easy and reasonably affordable to buy replacement parts. Keeping up with the rower's maintenance will also help extend its life and preserve its high quality performance. The RowERG has a 54-inch aluminum monorail. You can detach the rail and rear stabilizer from the rest of the rower to make it easier to store. When it's in one piece, the rower is super easy to roll around. You'll just have to be mindful of how long it is if you're in a small space. In 2 pieces, most people should be able to pick it up and transport it wherever they need. It can be stored upright or horizontally. All of these options make the RowERG really great for anyone who needs to move their rowing machine around a lot. The seat is not the most comfortable rowing machine seat I've tried. It is a bit smaller and firmer. I like it, but I can see it being an issue for other athletes. Likewise with the handles, I had plenty of room to get a good grip, but they're pretty firm. They're pretty basic, and though I found them comfortable, someone who isn't as used to rowing, lifting weights, or gripping other cardio equipment may feel different. So this is a chain drive and air rower. That combination makes the RowERG very loud. You'll want to find a space or time of the day where you can use it without making enemies. Surprisingly, while I'm using the Concept2 RowERG, I'm not really bothered by the noise. I have used noise-canceling headphones to train while on the Concept2 RowERG, and if you want to do the same, the RowERG is not so loud that you can't hear music or other audio. It might be a little harder if you were listening to something over speakers. For resistance, the RowERG uses a fan. It has a 10-level damper which adjusts the amount of drag. Really, you are the one adjusting the resistance level with how hard you row. The resistance is pretty much unlimited because the fan will resist you the harder you work. I'll get more into the fan and damper system later on. For now, I would say put the damper as a way to adjust the resistance out of your mind because it isn't something you're likely going to vary during a workout. You can't reach it while strapped into the rower, so I recommend finding a setting you like and leaving it. The pedals can be a little finicky, but that's pretty much on par with other rowers. The rower has these adjustable foot stretchers with different levels. I wear a women's 8 medium, and I typically set it to level 2. The footboards measure 12 inches long by 5 inches wide and sit about 5 inches apart from each other. The heel strap is really flexible, so if you're like me and can't quite keep your heels down yet, it will move with you. I really appreciate that as I continue to work on my rowing form. Overall, I'm really impressed with the Concept2's design of this rower. If you're bothered by how low the RowERG sits to the ground, you can order the tall version instead. Likewise, if the seat is too firm, Concept2 sells additional padding. The Concept2 RowERG really nails having no more and no less than exactly what you need to have a great rowing workout. I don't think I've ever heard a low-tech console get as much praise as the PM5 has. This console is simple. It's not a touchscreen or full color. The 5 rubber buttons along the right side and 3 large buttons along the bottom make navigation very straightforward. You don't need to study the manual to figure it out by any means. What makes this console so highly regarded is its accuracy. It's battery powered and even uses your rowing to recharge and last a little longer than those batteries otherwise would. There are onboard workouts and games to play. I'm terrible, just truly terrible at the fishing game, but it's super fun. The console has ANT+ and Bluetooth connectivity. You can pair a heart rate monitor, and my Garmin connects just fine. There are a few other training options with this connectivity, which I'll get into in just a bit. There is a device holder, so if you're using your phone to watch something, listen to music, or use your console's connectivity, you can store it right by the console. We just have the smartphone cradle, but you can also get a larger device holder, which I recommend. Concept2 has some great upgrade options for the RowERG. I can't go into detail on all of these, but check them out if you're interested. My favorite accessory is the slides. These sit under the rower and allow it to slide under you as if you were on the water. You can even link more than one rower together on the slides for team training, which is pretty cool. So back to the damper and the performance of the RowERG. The damper lets you adjust how much air is going into the fan. Levels 3 to 5 are where I tend to stick around and should create a closer feel to training on the water. Rowers are such versatile machines, so if you do want a muddier feel to your rowing, you have plenty of levels to choose from. But you don't really use the damper to create an interval workout. You row harder or faster during your work segments, and slow down, don't pull as hard during your recovery segments. Varying your speed and force is what you should do before you touch the damper and have to unhook your feet and all of that. It's different than a rower like the Nordic Track or Proform rowers that do automatically adjust your magnetic resistance while you're training, but it is my preferred method. If you want some guidance during your workout, you can turn to the PM5. There are built-in training programs. They're easy to follow, but if you want more high-tech training options, you can connect the PM5 to apps like ERG Data, which is Concept2's app. You can also connect to apps like Zwift, Regatta, and KinoMap. Concept2 has a pretty in-depth list of what apps work with the PM5 and how they perform, so you have plenty of options for guided training and even competing against other users. All right, so now I'm gonna row a bit on the Concept2 RowERG so you can hear a bit how it sounds and see how it performs. So I'm starting off just pretty easy, but you can still tell that it's pretty loud even at a slower, easier pace. All right, so I'll pick it up. So I'm rowing a lot harder now, and it's also getting a lot louder. So this is why I say that you really want to be mindful of who's around while you're training. All right, I'll drop it back down. The Concept2 is super versatile. You can train for endurance, or you can row all out. The monitor will guide you through different types of workouts so you can train to beat yourself, or even connect some apps so that you can beat other people. It's really fun, and I'm already getting out of breath. The Concept2 RowERG is a great value rower with its high quality build and performance at a reasonable price. While it doesn't have the high-tech smart screens of competitors, its PM5 monitor has great connectivity and app options. The fan is loud, but it has unlimited resistance. You can adjust its airflow with the 10-level damper. I like this rower for experienced and beginner rowers. With a RowERG, you join a whole community. This rower has a huge fan base, and there are plenty of online resources, including Concept2's forum, to check out. There's really just so much to talk about when it comes to the RowERG, so I recommend checking out my written review on treadmillreviews.com, where I'm able to go a little more in depth on things. You can also learn more about this rower and check out its current pricing on Concept2's website. We'll have both linked in the description. I'm Kaylee from treadmillreviews.com, and thanks so much for watching.